Hey everyone, just a little bit of an update and something to say here. Yeah, thank you all for subscribing and liking the messages for Greg video. Hopefully that doesn't make me sound like a bit of a jerk. And if it does, I apologize. But I also wanted to put up something that I think I'd like to do. It's called Play for Greg. Well, hashtag Play for Greg. In this idea, you're going to take, well, I have a huge comment that'll show up on the screen for like, 10 seconds or stuff like that. And I just thought I'd just tell you all about that. Other than that, enjoy the video, and that's all I just wanted to say was thank you, and keep it up. Keep going, Greg. You're doing good. Have a nice day. Hello? Hey, Floyd. No, it's snowing. Yeah, it's snowing. Oh, I'm in Calgary now. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think I'm just gonna stay in. I actually got nothing to review. I just moved in. I'm staying at a family member's house until I can find my own place. Other than that, it's not too bad. Well, I don't know what I'm going to review. Well, see you tomorrow. Oh. Yeah, I moved in, and so I got nothing to review. Ugh. Well, what could I review? Well, maybe when I watch some TV I could find something.
Hey, we were watching that!
We always get those. It's always at commercials.
Double saber delicious!
Too old for this, I'm getting.
You know what? Let's just review commercials. There's so much everywhere now, so why not? Why not? Review commercials, and they're kind of like similar to shows and TVs, so why not just review it? Some memorable, some aren't, and, well, they're still remembered by some people. So let's take a look at some old commercials. I'm not going to go on any particular order, but I am going to show you a few that I've chosen. If it ends up being like a connection to all of them, then if they're all connected somehow, then I apologize. I don't mean to do it that way. So, let's begin. Let's start off the commercials with a game that I played for my very first channel, which is my Let's Play of Toy Story on the SNES. So here's the first commercial of the Toy Story video game itself.
Toy Story, the video game. So real, you're there.
Now for Sega Genesis, coming for Super NES, system not included.
Get into it.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, and it does kind of pop out in your eyes. But I do have a few certain problems with it. The first one being the music. The intro sounds very similar to that Batman Returns Coke ad. Listen. Yeah, that's kind of similar. I wonder if it's the same composer. Next thing you know, it's like a giant TV. No one questions like the giant controller out of the O of the toy store and a child playing the game.
And of course, the game is a Sega Genesis game. It was because the Super Nintendo was coming soon, and the Sega Genesis was out already. This game does work, and it is fun, but I think the game was better on people say the Genesis was better because, well, the commercial had the Genesis game first before the Super Nintendo. So, it doesn't seem fair. By the way, watch the Console Wars Toy Story episode. I recommend it.
Get into it.
Hi there, friends. It's Jeffrey. When you come to Toys R Us, you can meet me, along with Gigi and little baby G.
This is for my American audience out there. I know that you just recently lost your Toys R Us, but we in Canada still have ours. And you know what? I'm going to pay a little respect to you guys for all the hard work you do, and for how to pay my respects to a good old giraffe and his family. Here's a bunch of Toys R Us commercials. Yeah, it's kind of cool, and it's fun, and these are one of the first ones. Yeah, where Jeffrey the giraffe, and then I didn't really notice that he had a baby girl and like a wife in the very beginning. This was all new to me when I was doing this episode. But yeah, Toys R Us is one of the biggest toy stores of all time, even making one of the most famous commercials of all time as well.
I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got the best for so much less, you really...
Now that was a great commercial. Now here's the sequel commercial to it that took place 10 years later.
Toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't want to grow up.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
They got the best for so much less.
You'll really flip your lid.
Some bikes to trains to video games. It's the big.
It's really fun and cool. There was even a Toy Story 2 commercial that had a tie-in with Toys R Us.
Give me 5 of those, 13 of these, 15 of these, 6 of these, 4 of those.
What would you do if you won $1 million? In honor of Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 2, Toys R Us presents Buzz and Woody's Toy Roundup game, only at Toys R Us.
And 1 tour guide Barbie doorbell system.
Kid, if I know that you're hiding because you're buying it for yourself, I know I'm an administrator for a Toy Story collection page on Facebook, and I know a bunch of people who own these toys. So you don't need to hide, okay? Other than that, Toys R Us.
They said it wasn't humanly possible. All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand.
Yep, very first Game Boy commercial from Nintendo. The first portable gaming to be actually cool than Tiger. Sure, it wasn't as good as Game Gear, but it was still fun and cool. And it was portable. However, Game Boy would no longer be in production in the year 2003. Yeah, it lasts longer than Sega Genesis, than the Super Nintendo. I don't know why I'm mixing those up today. I guess it's that Toy Story episode, that Toy Story commercial. Anyway, it's right through the Super Nintendo, the 64, and of course GameCube. That's pretty cool. You know what the cool thing is? It's not even a Game Boy commercial, but it is a Game Boy game commercial of Dr. Mario. Listen.
The witch doctor, he told me what to do. He said, ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, tang-tang, walla-walla bing-bang.
That means play Dr. Mario on Game Boy or NES.
Ting-tang, walla-walla bing-bang. I beat the witch doctor, and this is what he said. He said, ooh-ee,
Yikes. Well, it's still cool, and it's still memorable, and it's kind of fun. Little known fact, the song was by Witch Doctor from Dave Seville, the same guy who would go on to become the inspiration for, well, actually the Chipmunks. Yeah, this was a prototype song. This is where that prototype song is. If you just read it fast enough, really fast, it will be the Chipmunks. Anyway, I'm just stalling right now. But Game Boy was one of the coolest devices that we humans actually made. So let's give a round of applause for Game Boy.
Only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power. Portable power.
Meet the Puttermans, just your typical suburban family. Well, sort of.
Ah! Oh, this is so creepy. I can't believe Duracell made these people. This is known as the Puttermans. Toy-like people, plastic robot toy-like people called the Puttermans. Supposed to be a rivaling of the Energizer Bunny. Whereas the Energizer Bunny was actually understandable because its first commercial was a bunch of other toy bunnies hitting a drum while this toy bunny was going through. This is just creepy. I think this was a failed TV sitcom like the Geico Caveman. I'm not reviewing Geico Caveman if that's all you're thinking of. But, it's scary. Look at this. Tell me if this is adorable or scary.
So, is everybody using Duracell batteries?
No kidding. The second I heard they had a battery that outlasts all other brands, I bought the family a whole case.
Reminds me of the first time we tried Duracell batteries. We were living in Tulsa with your great Aunt Emma. We shared a one-room apartment.
Now, I don't know if that's considered murder if
Did you slip
her battery's dead or anything. It seems Duracell's like the main power source. I can get it to sell more batteries, but I think I prefer the commercials where they show actual people like firemen using these batteries to power up their lights so they can save people. But this seems like a failed TV series.
Silly question.
But I'll say one positive thing. At least it's letting me think about. They all look like Robbie Rotten. Friends, I might as well just say this. Rest in peace, Stephen Carl Stevenson. That was no meant to be an insult. That was just an observation. And so instead of taking a commercial, it's very sweet. Story is that Mean Joe has hurt leg. The kid offers him a Coke because why not? Coke solves everything. You know how people complain about the Kardashians giving a Pepsi to a cop? Well, it's because it's Pepsi. If they gave him a Coke, maybe it'd be better. So Mean Joe actually accepts the Coke, drinks it. The kid going, well, see you around. Music's so sappy, but it's still kind of nice. I love this scene in particular right here. Have a Coke and a smile. That's a very beautiful quote. Like Coke commercials today, I know I could have talked about about the polar bears or Santa, but instead I wanted to talk about Mr. Mean Joe. He's not that mean at all. He's a very kind person, and it would be an honor to actually meet him and actually give him a Coke. And you know what? Coca-Cola is the greatest drink of all time. Cherry Coke is even better. But that's just my opinion. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate comments going, Pepsi's better than Coke. Well, I have a reason that Coke is better. It went around the world. It didn't just stay in America. It actually explored. It actually went the distance. Pepsi's too safe, but Coke is out there for the world. Ha!
Calling Buzz Lightyear. Come in, Buzz Lightyear. This is Star Command. Buzz Lightyear, do you read?
Yeah, we're going there. This is a Buzz Lightyear commercial, as seen from the movie, but this ad is really an example of what the 90s was. You got super spinning, big announcer played by Penn from Penn and Teller. Zoom in, zoom out, all the cool things you can do with him. Karate chop action, laser blast, and grape soda from the movie Up. And a lot of spinning around. This was an example of pure 90s enjoyment. But I think this is an actual ad that you can play on TV. If you play this on TV and a kid watches it, I think they would go, yeah, I want a Buzz Lightyear. Back in 1995, shorts say people like Al's Toy Barn did not buy enough toys to meet demand. Therefore, Al's Toy Barn went bankrupt. And never sold. Maybe this is why Toys R Us went bankrupt in the U.S. because it didn't sell enough Buzz Lightyear toys. If they played this ad, maybe Toys R Us would be still up and still in the toys would still have business. I know this is a fake ad, but it's still really cool, and I think it deserves to be on its own, deserves to be an actual commercial. It's treated like one, so it should be one. Those are the commercials. How do they hold up? Well, if you don't mind, I just really feel a little... I don't really feel like going out, man. You know, I know, right? Just weird. So creepy. It's not too bad.
Mr. Surfer, have you ever considered propane as an alternative energy source for that board of yours? With a little retooling, I could get it to work. Tell you what I'm going to do. Being that you're my neighbor and I like you, I'm going to give you the new neighbor discount and a free t-shirt. So what do you say?
Take a ride on the Cosmic Tide on an all-new Silver Surfer next, as Fox Kids Heads for the Hills continues.
Just think, with repeat business like that, I could eventually be supplying propane galaxy-wide.
Now that we're done reviewing commercials, what else is there to do? Oh, I guess I could probably sit here, eat my bar, and I'll find something good. You'll probably find something good at this channel, or at this channel, or maybe you just want to watch me eat this bar. So, happy trails.